Okay, I don't know if this is gonna work out. I'm gonna have to try to move while holding the phone, so this may not work, but I just wanted to get video of the garden enclosure Aaron helped build for me yesterday to keep the bigger animals out. Uh, I didn't close the door thing right, so. Okay, so we go here. I'm in my scooter. Go up here and unclip this, and then it's hard to do one-handed, but roll this around a bit and put it aside. I usually do it more than that, but okay. And so we go in. Over here is the cat mint that died, and catnip. I think I overwatered it. Lemon thyme down there. Having a hard time with that. Over here we have some sweet woodruff, and in there I'm trying to grow some echinacea. Down here, rosemary, a grapevine, and then 2 more grapes. One of those, there wasn't very many roots, so I'm a little bit worried that that one's not going to grow, but the one over here I think will be okay. And then a star aloe down there. We'll come back over here. This is the bed that I accidentally put twice the dolomite I was supposed to. I got the fertilizer and dolomite mixed up, and nothing really has grown in it since. After realizing the first set of seeds weren't going to work, I tried another batch last week. Down here I had a sweet basil seed strip, and that's the only thing that's grown from that. And so then I put a second one in next to it. Still a few more days before I see if anything's going to come from that. Over here, out of like 4 seeds, got one sweetie cherry tomato vine growing in. And over here, beefsteak tomatoes. I did that later than that, but so far nothing, so I'm a little worried, but we'll see. Had some marigold seeds, but they didn't take off and I didn't replant them. Then over here, this is one of the nicest ones. We've got Aaron's Trinidad Moruga Scorpion chili pepper, and it's got a bunch of these little things that I'm assuming will turn into peppers. There's some more. Well, yeah. And then over here is the lemon basil that I probably chopped half off of yesterday because it was really overgrown and taking over part of the tomato plant. I was debating actually pulling it out and putting it in a separate thing, but I was afraid I'd kill it completely, so I'm just going to try to keep it chopped back. The leaves, I rinsed everything off. I put the leaves in ice cubes and froze those, and the flowers I'm drying for medicinal use. And then over here is tomato bush. I just recently learned that there's a difference in tomatoes. I didn't know that some were determinate bushes, some were indeterminate vines. So when I got it, I thought it was going to be a vine, but looks like it's doing pretty good. And like in here, I think those are going to turn into flowers. And I don't know if I can access it. Let's see. I believe, oh, you can see it from there. Yellow flower, I think that's going to turn into a tomato, hopefully. Got a marigold down here. The original flowers dried up and broke off, but new ones are coming in. And then I keep trying to plant bunching onions in here, and just not working too well. I've got this one and that one. About 5 days ago, I planted a whole bunch more seeds, and I'm not seeing any sign that any of them are going to take off. So we'll see. Then over here, I've got radish crispy crunch. I think I've learned that if you are starting a garden and you want that excitement of your first harvest sooner, radishes are a good way to go. These grew pretty fast. Some of these bugs like these the most, but that one I think is pretty good size. That one looks like it's trying to push its way out, but I'm hoping it'll get a bit wider. I probably should have pulled one of these out, thinning it, but I just kind of wanted to see what happened. This one I think is a pretty good size. Might even be ready to be pulled, but I have to look into that. I'm kind of wanting these to get as big as possible. And then this one back here might only be a little bit of a root because of these two growing so close together. And over here I've got cucumber pick and bushel hybrid plants. These two, and I think this one. Probably should have pulled this middle one, but hopefully once they're big enough to put on a trellis, I can make room for it all. I think over here, this one is a bush champion cucumber. I'm a little worried that it's not going to get enough sun with these, but we'll see how it works out. And then because the ones I planted over here just didn't make it, about a week ago I tried planting some more. Maybe it wasn't quite a week ago, but we'll see if those work out. And then back here we've got early scarlet globe radishes. And I don't know if this is how they're supposed to look, but they're all really thin. These I probably should have pulled one, but it's like an experiment. And this over here looks the saddest. I'm gonna have to look into that and see if they're supposed to be thin. I don't think so, but we'll see. And then this one, I have had the worst time with. I think it might just be bad soil. Because I was curious if the soil made a difference, we labeled what soil was used on each one of these. And this one and these next ones, I used Miracle Grow. So that's probably all I'll buy from now on. That first one, I think, oh yeah, it was a Miracle Grow. I can't remember what the PM stood for, but yeah, Miracle Grow is the way to go. This one, I can't remember, was Visage All Purpose. I won't buy that again. Oh, actually I had a mushroom grow out of this, so probably not a good sign. But I did try replanting, and the only thing I'm seeing come up so far is I did a Trying to get over here more. I did a seed strip of, let's see, National Pickling Cucumbers, seed tape, and I am seeing sign of life here. I forgot, there was something further back that I saw, but, oh, right there. But, I don't know. That's about it. So we'll have to see what comes of that. Planted a bunch of cherry bell radishes, and I'm not seeing any signs of life there. I know that I can grow radishes because I just had 2 strips over there, 2 rows. But maybe it just needs more time. Have butter crunch lettuce here, giant Caesar lettuce here. I probably did 3 times the amount of seeds I normally would, just because I'm just hoping for something, but no sign yet. And then garlic chives, no sign. And let me look through over here. No sign. Maybe it just needs more time. And then let me back up. This next one, we've got Sugar Daddy pole peas. These 2 are doing okay, but when you consider that I planted them the same time as those, I don't know, they look a little sad. This one, still not quite sure whether it's going to make it or not. These ones shriveled up and died. Maybe not watered enough. I don't know. This is supposed to be a self-watering thing as long as there's water in here. But starting out, it needs a little top help. I replanted some of these Sugar Daddy peas, so we'll see if those come in. Got carrots here. The first set, nothing happened, so try it again. Not seeing anything. Starting to think carrots might not be a good raised bed vegetable. I got the half size ones because I thought, well, maybe those would have a better chance, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Then over here, BL stringless FM1 pole beans. Got 2 close together there. Probably should have pulled one, but I guess I'm kind of hoping that if what I replanted over here doesn't grow, maybe, even though from what I've heard, their roots are really delicate, I guess I'm kind of hoping that I can replant one of these over there. We shall see. And then over here, I've got my blue bantam peas. And it broke my heart to thin these out. I pulled 5, and I just couldn't bring myself to pull more, at least not yet. I'm hoping that these ones on the sides, I can get to grow up the side of this. I don't know about roots, but I'm hoping as far as above the ground space, that helps. So we'll see. And then once again, carrots, and I'm seeing nothing. Just kind of losing faith in being able to grow carrots. And then back here, have Kentucky Wonder pole beans. Yeah. Those, for the most part, look like they're doing pretty good. The one over here didn't make it, so when I was planting the other ones down there, I soaked a couple more of those, and oh yeah, I soaked a couple, and then the next day when I went to come out and plant them, I bumped into something, and some of the stuff I'd soaked overnight fell on the ground, and then even though I was trying to be careful, I accidentally backed up, squishing one of them. So then I ended up with only one. So hoping that one takes off. We'll see. And then over here, got parsley. I keep meaning to cut off these more yellow ones. Should help the green ones more. This white stuff only recently happened. Not sure if that's from the neem spray or something else. I'll have to look into that. This was a really pretty impatiens. It's supposed to be a pest repellent. And yeah, it's not doing too good, but I keep hoping. I've had some that didn't do well with transplant shock, but eventually they made a recovery, so I'm hoping this one does, because it had pretty red flowers. And this one lost about 3/4 of these green things, but for a while there it was kind of touch and go. Right now I think it's making a comeback. I'm a little worried that I've got it in something too small. It's supposed to be yellow sweet Spanish onions. Right now I guess it's kind of an experiment. We'll see what happens. And then back here, I keep killing lemon thyme, but I really want to have it. So I bought 6 individual planter things, and then a big pot. And I've put them in different spots to see if the lighting, or just to see if one area makes a difference. I don't know. Some of what's going on here makes me worried for the rest, but hopefully I can keep it alive. It smells nice. And then over here, got English thyme. At least this time I haven't killed. For a while there it was looking a little iffy, but I think it's going to be okay. Got pineapple sage. Bugs are getting to it. And then Greek oregano. I ended up killing the first one, so that one I think I overwatered, so I'm backing off of this a little bit. I'm really into the mints and tea herbs. I've got lemon balm here, a chamomile that I really thought was gonna die. It came very close, and then it started to make a comeback, and I saw it kind of getting clumps, I guess, at the top. I thought it was just going to grow more of those leaves, and then almost overnight these white flowers came out. Yesterday, since yesterday, we've got one more. Yesterday there were 3, today I see 4. And then in here I planted a whole bunch of chamomile seeds. The first time I did it, it didn't work. We'll see. But that was so exciting. Overnight, 3 flowers came out, and then just overnight again, 1 more. So kind of exciting to see what will happen to this in the next week. And then over here, I forgot what this is. Kind of have to get a little creative with our pots. But bee balm. Yeah, I thought this was gonna die. Probably had to cut half of it off, but I think it might be okay. And then down here, really into the mints. So down here we got Best Mint. It's kind of looking sad, but at least it's still alive. So right now, I'm happy with that. Sweet Mint. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna survive, sadly. It was looking pretty good the other day, but I don't know. I do see some new growth down there. Little leaves that look healthy, so even if this top part dies, I'm hoping it'll still come back. As far as mints, I like more of the spearmint, and I think that's I can't remember, one of these. Maybe it was this one, hopefully. But Aaron likes peppermint, and this one's making a comeback. So you got a few leaves to cut off, but maybe it'll be okay. Hopefully. I think I planted some peppermint seeds in there too, and some spearmint. So we'll see if anything comes from that. And then we're at the end here. It's got that stuff. I wrote about the complete stranger who offered me 4 of her sweet potato slips. This is the one where the roots got 3/4 of the roots. I don't even know how it happened, but somehow they got ripped off. Not sure if that one's gonna make it. Looks like it's trying to hang in there. We'll see. And this one, I don't know either. These two definitely look better. This one, not sure what's going on with the leaves, but I have had experiences where the leaves will dry up and fall off, and then new healthy ones come in, so I'm hoping. And this one, if only one of them survives, I think it'll be this. So, and we've got them in these types of bags that we can just pull this off when we're ready to reach in and pull out the potatoes. So I'm still hoping to get white potatoes to grow, but I'm not having very much luck with creating seed potatoes from store-bought potatoes. I'm guessing they're sprayed with stuff to keep them from sprouting. So, I don't know. Over here, we've got, oh, the lavender died. I guess the sign to this went down. That's yarrow. Started to die, slowly making a comeback. I've had to kind of stake it though, because it keeps flopping over. The salvia died. The sweet woodruff died. And then over here, well, let me talk about these first. So over here we've got a habanero pepper, and over here a jalapeno. And they're so cute. I can't even see my phone anymore, but we've got these little things. They're so tiny. Look at that little tiny one. And then I think this might be the biggest. Not sure how to know when they're ready to be picked. Still got a ways to go, but and then over here, where'd it go? Oh, we got that. This little one. But the reason I wanted to come over here first was yesterday, these were in such sad shape. They looked exactly like this but not hard. They look like this, and everything I read was telling me that that meant overwatering. But my instinct, this was just so dry. My instinct said it needs more water. And I figured, well, it looks like they're going to die anyway, so I just drenched the soil. And then came out here today just hoping for a little bit of a sign of improvement. And boy, did they come back. So that was exciting, and it helps give me more faith in my gardening instinct. So yeah, that was exciting. We'll see what comes from that. And then over here, that's what happens when I don't trust my instinct. That habanero died. I've got it still in there, hoping that the roots are still alive and it'll come back, but we'll see. This chili red hot pepper over here, it was up to here. It was above this today, but it was like just a thin stem with a couple leaves at the top. And so, trusting my instinct, hoping I'm not wrong, I chopped it down to there so that it'll bush out more, which means hopefully more peppers. We've got the top part here in water to see if we can grow some roots on that. And so if we can, that'll be another plant. So that's exciting. I think I'm going to stop this and restart a new video in case my phone dies. So, alright. Okay, restarting, and so I had that saved just in case my phone dies. Over here, I've put these under this table thing because it seemed like it was not happy with the amount of sun it was getting, so I thought this might help. So we've got some more of that lemon thyme here on the other side of the garden, where it should get a little bit more sun, but still shade. This, I kept it in the pot thinking, well, that's just another experiment. Maybe keeping it in the pot will help, and nope. It's all dried up. But I'm leaving it out here for now until I can cut it and rinse it and save it for herbs. Oh, there was something over here. Just in case anyone's curious, if I could find it again. When I was showing Aaron earlier how fast these pepper plants made a turn for the better, I was talking about how some of the flowers might not survive. But as long as the plant could grow more flowers, then that was okay. I was looking at one. Oh, here it is, this little teeny baby one. It's so cute. I might just take a picture of that. Let's see, where is it? Is it this one? Oh yeah, okay. Oh, well, now the flower part fell off of me playing with it. So from this side, I can't even see what's on camera, so from this side there was a dried up flower over here, and I thought that was gonna fall off. Can you even see it? So I was lifting it up to show Aaron as an example of a flower that I thought was gonna fall off. Where's my finger? And on this side I noticed this green, so yeah, that was exciting. And I'm hoping some of these other ones that aren't looking so good, like that, that one I think is a lost cause. But I'm hoping some of these other ones that I was worried about falling off, hopefully they'll turn into little peppers like that one. I still think that one is just so cute. It's even got the right shape. Okay, and then over here, the first time I actually trusted my own judgment, when we got this strawberry planter, the strawberries were in sad shape, but I was told that to buy this planter just on its own without the strawberries, it was about $20 anyways. So I thought, well, if they die, then I've got this planter, and I was going to use it for indoor herbs like sage, thyme, parsley, cilantro, and each separate one. And it was growing some strawberries, but the strawberries were coming out extra brown and shriveled and just weird looking. Nothing that anyone would want to try eating. And so eventually I just hacked the heck out of this. It's growing back quickly, but I cut off, I want to say almost 75% of it, but somewhere between 50% and 75% maybe. And now it's just growing a whole bunch of new flowers. I'm gonna have to thin it out again. I don't know if there's any in here, but one of the problems also is like right here, these being able to get enough light from these blocking it, trying to find that balance between enough of these for shade but not so much that blocks sun. Something I'm still figuring out, but I'm starting to trust my instincts more. Oh, that's so pretty. We got this over here. I'm gonna have to do some thinning out again, but there's 4 petals there. This one, I tried planting some seeds in there. The other day, I had this on the end over there before we put the fence up. But the winds get really bad here, which is part of why we chose the fence thing rather than those plastic greenhouse things with the sun here and the wind. We just didn't think it would do well. But it was on this table and the wind blew the table over and basically flung this at me and a bunch of this soil was lost. I pulled a little bit out from up top and put some more down in there, but I'm guessing a lot of the seeds are gone. I don't know if they would have taken off anyways, but yeah, I don't know. And then got this up here. Don't know if anything's gonna grow in there, but it's really been thinned out, possibly down there. Okay, my phone died, so I put it on the charger for a while and watered everything. In watering, I've found a few grasshoppers. There's a great big one back there. But they're just such a bright green. I don't know. I just don't have the heart to kill them, but I know that they're going to do serious damage. So I'm hoping. I caught one here. That's only half the size of the great big one over there. But I'm hoping that I can talk Aaron into squashing him for me. Usually I try to just relocate, but these just one jump gets them pretty far and they just keep coming back. So sadly something else is gonna have to be done. And there's another one I've noticed in there. That one could be injured, I can't quite tell. So I got that one, and then the one back there. Oh, okay, I didn't get this because it turned off. I was talking earlier about how if Aaron does come out to help me with these grasshoppers, I'll stop the video. But until then, I was talking about how I kept killing the lemon thyme, so this time I tried different locations and different containers. This I bought in this container, and since I had some over here and some over here, I thought that I would just leave that in there. If that's how it came, maybe it would do better just staying there. But it's all dry. So I'm just saving it in this right now until I can cut it off, clean it, and save it for dry herbs. And one thing I forgot I wanted to say about this area back here. This is where we've ended the garden enclosure for now, just because we don't have anything more to spread out. But eventually, as I start planting more and more stuff, maybe not this year, but eventually I want that to go all the way to the end of our yard. So that's part of why we've got it set up the way we do right now. Part of it was also cost. Fencing can be pretty expensive. So this is what we figured out for now, within our budget. It works. It'll hopefully keep the raccoons and foxes and stuff out. Oh, eventually I'm going to want to cover the top though. Keep the birds out from our fruit. And I'm hoping to figure out a pretty sturdy top, because eventually I'm wanting those grapes to grow up and over. So we'll see. For now, this works great though. Over here, we've got garden sage. Over here, some lemon thymes. I ended up putting this under the table because it was acting like it needed a little bit more shade. On the other side, the house gives it too much shade. This side gets the light a lot longer, but so it needed like a balance between that side and this side. So this is what I've rigged up for now. We'll see how well it works. Over here, got sweet woodruff. I used to have some of that in here, but it died. And again, just like the lemon thyme over there, I thought, well, maybe if I just keep it in its original container, maybe it'll do better. But no, it's just as dried out, it's dead as that lemon thyme. So when I'm able to come cut that and clean it and save it, I'll do the same for this. I don't remember the medicinal benefits to this, but I remember had some good ones. I'm kind of getting into medicinal herbalism stuff, not necessarily as, you know, like replacing a doctor, but more preventative type medicine stuff. Sometimes there's a benefit even after you're sick, but yeah, here's Aaron. I'm going to turn it off. Okay, Aaron helped me, took care of the crickets for me, or grasshoppers. I don't know why I find it so disturbing. I mean, it's not like I'm a vegetarian or vegan and I've gone fishing. I don't like to gut the fish if somebody else will do it, but I've done it before. But I don't know, I found I've had a hard time with killing some of the bugs here so far. The bigger ones I've just relocated. There were some big caterpillars that we just put clear on the other side. Oh, great. And there's another one. They really like these raspberry things. Julie, if you happen to be watching, maybe that's what happened to your raspberries. These things. And that one's a small one. The other ones were much bigger. One probably 5 times that size. I just don't know why it bothers me so much to take care of them myself. Anyways, raspberries. They're starting to get some color on them. That one, let's see, this one had some weird growth on the side, so I plucked it off, worried that it might infect the whole thing, hoping maybe would save some of it. We'll see. I don't think we're gonna have a whole lot this year. I'm hoping it'll get much bigger, but we'll see. I don't know if this is like apple trees, fruit trees, where the first year they recommend that you just cut off all the flowers and the fruit so that it can just concentrate on growing bigger, so that the following years you get a much bigger harvest. I guess I'll have to look into that a little bit more. So if that's the case, then I guess I'll just have to cut those off this year so that we have a better harvest in the future. Kind of hoping not, though. Be nice to have some raspberries, even if it's only a few. And if these guys don't eat everything, it's the raspberries that I find them on the most. So one of them was on one of the peppers, and then the great big one was on the tomato plant, the bush back there. And then this is, let's see, this is red raspberry candy. This is red raspberry Williamette. These just recently started getting a little bit of color. Very little fruit, but we'll see. It's early. Oh yeah, I forgot something about this one. Like 5 days ago or so, I noticed, I don't know what it was. I still haven't been able to figure it out, but there was a bug that was kind of a mix between a dragonfly and a bee. And I was watering, and I thought that maybe it was hovering around me because it wanted some water, but it was waiting for me to move further away. And then all of a sudden I noticed this was turned a little differently. The leaves have grown since. But all of a sudden I noticed that it just went down this stem. And I looked into it, and I guess there are bugs that do that. Some are beneficial, some aren't. I have not been able to identify that particular one to know which it was, so all I could think to do was I found one of these wood chip things this size, and I've just been blocking the hole. So if I can ever identify it, and if I find out it's beneficial, maybe I'll unblock that, because I don't think they go all the way down. I think they just go a little bit down. So if it doesn't like kill the whole plant and it's a beneficial bug, then I'll give it a home. I just don't know what to do about these. So there's this raspberry, and then we come over here to the blueberries. This is the bigger plant. This is peach sorbet. Oh, with this arm thing. I got pretty bad sunburn all the time that I spend out here. And so Aaron got me a bunch of these arm things to protect my arm. Instead of like wearing a long sleeve shirt that would get hot, this like wicks away any sweat or whatever, but protects my arms, so that was cool. And the first one didn't have this this thumb thing, and it would hike up a bit. It wasn't bad, but I'm really liking these thumb ones. They stay in place more. I just put this one on today. They get dirty fast, but saves my skin, so I like that. This one is much smaller. Crap. That little tag thing is gone on this. If I remember right, though, I wonder if it says. Oh my gosh, this is buckled blackberry. I thought it was blueberry. Whoops, got that cut. Part of the reason, even though they were supposed to be self-pollinating, part of the reason I got two was just to kind of increase the pollination or whatever, hoping for more fruit. I'm still learning about that. But these look blue to me. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I thought it said buckled blueberry on the tag. Maybe that's just a typo? I don't know. I'll have to look into that. One thing I'm worried about, though, is I used to think that you harvested all fruits and vegetables at the same time, but I learned that, like with those strawberries, you're supposed to be able to, once it starts harvesting, you're supposed to be able to pick some like every 4 to 5 days. They grow at different times, and so now I'm not sure if that's the same with blueberries, because I mean, obviously some of these are further along than some of these. So I don't know. I'll have to figure out how to find out when they're ready. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be bigger than this. Aaron's answer to that was taste it. If it's sweet, it's ready. But yeah, I'd like to have some sort of idea before even tasting it. So I'll have to figure that out. I think they still need a little more time, though. This one only has this one. It looks the same to me as these, so I think this is a blueberry. We'll see. Right here, we've got a lemon tree. I don't think it's going to get very big. It was advertised as like a lemon tree you can keep inside your house. So, pretty sure it's not going to get too big. And then this one is an orange tree. Not really seeing any sign of fruit right now. Maybe it won't this first year. Just trying to keep them as healthy as I can. And then we're back here to these grapes. These are Concord grapes. This one has, I don't want to mess with it too much, but it has some green roots right there, so I think there's a chance it'll grow eventually. This one started out with no roots, and pick out some cotton. Thankfully the cotton is almost done. I don't think this is going to grow anything. I think we should have returned it right away, but we were told that if we save the packaging and receipt, that after 365 days, if it doesn't do anything, then we bring the package, receipt, and this back, and we'll get a refund. Aaron thought that we should give it a try. Hopefully it'll do something, because every day we wait, that's one more day. A different one could have been growing, so we'll see. One of the reasons I'm glad we finally got this garden enclosure is with all the wind, was having a hard time keeping this Fresno seedless grape from breaking. Have had some leaves break off, and some of these we've got some tendrils on them. I'm trying to find a curly one, just kind of like that. Not seeing, yeah. Some of the ones that have broken off were bigger than this, but I think it'll do better now that it's more secure. Back to the rosemary. Echinacea, I hope grows. There were a few bulbs that I bought that are in there, and then I added a bunch of seeds, so we'll see. And I think last time I might have called that I can't remember the other one, but this one is actually wormwood, and that's one that I wanted to get up off the ground. I probably need to find a better way to hang it, but for now, just I can't remember how dangerous it was for dogs, but it was one that I wanted to make sure the dogs didn't get into. So it's for medicinal purposes. But that's the garden. There's that thing. I put it there before the fence. Not sure how I'm gonna empty it now that the fence is there, but it's supposed to let me know if it rains how much rain we got, so I could adjust the watering accordingly. Yeah, let's see. Oh, we've got an aloe, a regular aloe in the back. Aaron keeps that in the shade. He waters it once a week. I thought that one was pretty, and having different ones in different places, different watering schedules will kind of let us know which one works best. And there's the garden. We just got this new hose literally today, or not the hose, but this nozzle thing. The other one was 7 years old. It was in bad shape. It was leaking. I feel like I was leaking as much water as I was spraying, but this one has this cool mist feature. I think maybe some of my problem with like these things that I use seed tapes on, like the carrots too. I think some of the problem may have been at first it says you're supposed to water the top until it gets some roots, and then this underwater system will work. But the lowest setting I had on the other one was still a little bit heavy pressure, so I'm wondering maybe that could have had a role. But this mist is really delicate, so that's cool. Anyway, I don't know if I'll actually upload this because it's been a lot of just mumbling and stuff people probably don't care about. But yep, that's the garden. Yeah, and it also gives me something to compare to in a couple weeks, because some of these things just grow so fast you can see a difference overnight. It's kind of cool. So I think that's it, except for the stuff we're growing inside. Eventually I'm gonna hang a couple topsy-turvies on that back wall over there. One is just for herbs only, and the other two you put a tomato down at the bottom and herbs around the upper part, and those two are also self-watering, kind of. So we'll have those also, and I'm growing other herbs. We've got some big sunflowers. They're mammoth sunflowers. They've grown so fast, and eventually, can't see it from here, but on the other side of that van is a flower bed type thing. Erin's gonna plant them in there. Gonna have to plant them kind of far apart though, because they're supposed to get 8 to 12 feet tall. They get big. It'd be kind of cool to have some sunflower seeds at the end of their cycle too. And Erin really likes how sunflowers, their heads follow the light. So yeah, this is our outside stuff, and I've posted pictures of most of the inside stuff. So that's our garden. Bye.